What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another Stacker Gaming video. Today I've got Automobilista for you guys. It's a new simulator. Of course, it's in early access still, but I'm super excited. This might be my new favorite racing simulator. So here you just see me setting up the race. You can see all the settings I'm using. Won't get too much into that. 105% AI strength, minimal assist, no ABS, I think traction control, and the other one, stability, is also low. But I haven't done one of these in a while, and I've got one shot, so we'll see how it goes. So I had circuit Gilles Villeneueve in Formula 3, starting in 10th place out of 20 cars. Didn't really qualify or anything, just you can see my settings. Yeah, so just 20 cars, random. Not random grid order. I am in 10th. I start 10th out of 20. So already fucking up. Anyway, there you go. You can see my pit strategy. We're going to pit one time, and this is what I really love about this game. First off, it feels so good. The force feedback with the setting to FX3 is really good. You can feel like every single curve in the road, all the tires. Oh my god. And compared to like project cars or like something like Assetto Corsa, like that, sometimes the car will spin or do something that I don't really feel, or I'm like, I don't really know why. But in this game, when I was practicing, I tried to race like 4 or 5 times before this, just doing some practice laps and whatnot. Every time I slid out in the beginning, even like the first few hours of the game, I knew it felt like I slid out. Like I felt it coming. It wasn't just like random. It honestly feels so good. I'm using the Thrustmaster T500RS, and the game already has all the wheels mapped up. If you have a Fanatec wheel, Thrustmaster, Logitech, anything, it has like the G27, T500, T300. All the wheels are already pre-mapped. Everything is like good to go. It's just plug and play. You can see me outbraking coming into lap 1. I'm already gaining position. The second thing about this game is that it is like a true racing experience. You can set formation laps, fast rolling laps, slow rolling starts, fast and slow rolling starts, formation laps, as I said before. The pits is perfect. There's no like automatic control. You're in control of the car at every single moment during the race. You have to put on the pit limiter yourself. You pull into the box yourself. You pull out of the box yourself. You turn off the speed limiter, which you'll see later with this race, which I'm so happy that it is 20 laps. So here on the outside, turn 1, trying to go outside. The orange F3 car is still on the inside. One of the things I know I'm good about racing is outbraking. Obviously, I don't really have that much experience in real life, or I'm trying to, but compared to AI at least, because I don't get to race online very often, I am really good at outbraking the AI. The one thing though that the AI does need to be fixed in this game, the one thing in this game that needs to be fixed about the AI is the overtaking maneuvers. And when I'm overtaking the AI, when they overtake me, it's usually fine. But when I'm overtaking the AI, they will often push me off the track or just cut me off, even though I'm well inside my line. You'll see that a couple of times. But that's probably one of the biggest issues. You'll see that very often. Right here, we got some little bumping and shoving. So I'm going to try to draft the orange car. Trying to squeeze my way inside, but I figured it's not going to happen. I shouldn't really push it too much. This was, as I said before, I think my like 5th race attempt. I don't normally do practice laps when I race this, which is why you'll see in very early racing videos that you'll see me constantly restart. I know when I posted grid videos back a couple of years ago, people would complain that I always use the replay feature, or the rewind feature. But thankfully I don't really have that anymore, and I've gotten a lot better. Still not great, but possibly interesting, I would say. I'm going to take that corner right there, get it as close as we can to the wall, which reminds me that this game doesn't really have a third-person view except for their instant replays, which only last for 180 seconds. So when the game is fully released, I would really like to have there to be a replay feature with like TV cameras and whatnot and different camera views. But we can see I'm finally learning my braking points. In previous videos, or previous attempts at this race, I did set some best lap times. But I would ultimately crash out, which is why you'll never be seeing those. So we caught up to the AI. This is probably one of my best corners on the circuit. I can brake really late. You can usually gain about a second upon the AI, which are set to 105. I'd have 120% if you didn't know what the maximum was. But I do think this is my new favorite racing simulator. Project Cars for sure will always have the best graphics, but in terms of feel and like loading times and just overall as a game, I think Automobilista is going to take it, even though I've fallen in love with Assetto Corsa recently, with all the customability and moddable tracks and cars and features and whatnot. This game just feels so good, and they have a lot of my, not a lot of my favorite tracks, because they don't actually have that many tracks, but I've been looking for a good circuit Gilles Villeneuve track for a while. I have it on the Assetto Corsa, but the track isn't as refined or as visually appealing. And I'm a very visual person. Aesthetics matter a lot to me. We're starting to lose some grip in the tires here, and you'll see me start struggling around lap 7, lap 8 with the tire, and I will make some mistakes, but I'll stop spoiling the race for you. So we're 2.8 seconds behind 5th place. We're going to try to catch up. Very doable. But the amount of realism in this game is unbelievable. I can't wait to try out like the other racing series in this game. They've got karting, stadium super trucks, rallycross. You can mix up any track with any car. It's awesome. I was watching some Formula 1 videos with Supertruck jumps the other day, and it was hilarious. So I can't wait to try that out. Another thing, I was racing, and I was trying to change my pit strategy mid-race, and I didn't know what a button did, and I used one of the scroll wheels on my F1 steering wheel. And for some reason, it turned the engine into reverse. Not really sure why, but it wasn't a glitch or anything. It's just what it's set to. And of course, I was in 5th gear going full down the straight, the back end straight of this circuit, and I just completely ruined the transmission on this car. Straight from 5th gear to reverse. It was the funniest thing ever, but I was super pissed because I was having a great race, but this one turned out to be a lot better, so everything worked out in the end. So we reduced the gap down to 1.17 seconds as we chase this red Formula 3 car. We do have two types of Formula 3 cars on the grid. We have the F309 and F301. Not really sure what the difference is. I don't really follow Formula 3, except for highlights here and there on YouTube and whatnot, and on the racing vlogs that I follow. So we're catching up, and we're gonna get right behind these two cars up into the corner. I raced a lot of karts at my local K1 track, and so when I see gaps like 0.5 seconds, I'm like, crap, that's a huge gap. But then you have to realize these are Formula 3 cars at a huge professional, like a full Formula 1 circuit here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And so 0.5 seconds is actually very close. But I think what I have a problem with is when I tend to follow cars, I have a really weird line. I'll often like brake a lot later than them and end up rear-ending them, or like at least hitting their back end. Not really like damaging anything, but I will tap them. And so I find that when I'm following a car and when there's a car following me, the gap to me and the car behind me is a lot closer than the gap to the car in front of me. As you can see here, I'm 0.5 seconds away, but the car behind me is only 0.1 seconds behind me. And it's just, I don't know, I think I have to brake a little bit earlier when I go into a corner following another car, and then just coast into right behind them, and so I can accelerate exactly when they do. And I make a quick little mistake, but I do make a little error there, and the red Formula car is able to push up here. Oh, but there's an accident. The white car carries just too much of that curb into that chicane and pops himself sideways, and I think he ended up hitting the orange car behind me. But we're going to easily take back that position, outbraking him under the inside line. We're going to take off down the main straightaway once again as we chase down the podium position, which is astonishing, 5 seconds away. So we lead a pack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, including myself, down the main straight as we head into lap number 7. Set the fastest lap, my fastest lap, last lap. We're gonna do probably the slowest circuit, the slowest corner of this circuit. Maybe besides the hairpin, not really sure. Gap is closing down between the car behind me and the car in front of me, so as a pack we're overall getting faster. Not really sure how the boost in this game works. I think you can use it once and you have to wait for it to recharge after 150 seconds, which you see counting down in the bottom left hand corner. You got 5 seconds till boost, but there's no visual indication when you're using the boost until after it's gone, and it just says you can't use it for another 150 seconds. Quite odd. Boy, do I feel out of breath. I have not done one of these post commentaries in a while, and I am not speaking very clearly. Hopefully I don't sound too weird or awkward. I made a mistake somewhere. Gap is back to 6 seconds. And there goes my doorbell. Some things you just can't help while you're doing a video commentary, can you? Heading back down towards the home straight. Before when I was thinking of doing this commentary, I had a lot more things I think in my mind. We make a little mistake into turn 1. The pack's gonna catch back up. The gap's gonna go back to 6 seconds, over 6 seconds. We've got Mr. Zamontes behind us. Zamontese. Lots of Portuguese, Brazilian names. I think pretty sure that's the Reiza Studios is a Portuguese or Brazilian. Pretty sure it's Brazilian. Studio. They made Star Car Extreme, and then that game morphed into this one, Automobilista. Picked this game up. I was on sale on Steam. So glad I did so. Can't wait till they have a GT3, if they ever do, because that will probably be my favorite class of all time, class of racing. We go into the hairpin, a little bit wide, tires screeching, tires dipping below 90% health. What is this? It's not a shooter. Tires don't really have health, but whatever. They're lifetime, 90% wear, which is kind of weird because I feel like you could extend them, but I don't know if 0% is just destroyed, because I feel like the tires would actually be a lot lower. Maybe like 60%, but you'll see I end up pitting and the tires lifetime is still like 70%, like 60 maybe. I don't really remember. We'll see. I do know they reuse tires from qualifying, but this is the full race, so I'm not really sure why they don't dip too low. As we head into the first chicane. Gap is now 7 seconds, a bit closing down. No, I'm going back up in the tens and hundreds. Oh, no, hundreds and thousands. I swear I can do math. You can see we're really struggling with the tires. But I'm going to hold off one more lap. But what was really confusing is, and I don't know if you guys caught this, but when I did my pit strategy, I had it so I would have 10 laps of fuel, pit stop after 10 laps, and then have another 10 laps of fuel to finish the race. But you can see my gauge in the bottom right that it says I have 12 liters left, which is 6 laps to go, which is quite odd, but oh, one of the attempts before this race, before I had to restart, and before the one where I accidentally transmission shifted down from 5th to reverse, just straight, I was on my 10th lap, I go into my 11th lap, and suddenly my car just slows down. I'm like, what is going on? There's no mechanical failure or anything, I didn't hit anybody, and I was doing quite well, until I realized I look in the bottom right, after like half a lap of just going around, crawling around the circuit, that I had no fuel left. I was so pissed. And then I got super excited because not many games do they allow you to pit unless you do like a 1.5 to 2 hour long race. So I was super excited. So the gap is now 8 seconds. As we make a mistake and we allow 2 cars to come underneath. We'll try to chase them down, but we're not going to try to overtake because we're going to come in at the end of this lap anyway. Somewhat pissed about that mistake, but the tires are dying on me, and I'm not good at conserving that tire wear. So we're just gonna draft them and just head into the pits. Not get a speeding penalty, as I have done before when I was trying an earlier attempt. And I also got a pit lane speeding penalty one time. So you can see me, I'm really cautious in, brake underneath 60, and then I come back up to 60 kilometers per hour. I love the little box. We brake a little too early, car goes up. It'd be cool if they had like little animations if the tires went out and came back on, because I know having an actual pit crew would be too much, and cars don't really align themselves straight in racing games, sims. So we come back out under the pit lane speed limit, and it seems like I'm the only person with this kind of strategy, and here I am really wondering if the AI is going to pit at all, and if I just wasted like 15 seconds. And you can see I don't turn off the pit lane limiter for a while because I really didn't want that penalty. So you come back, stay to the left of the white line, rejoin the track, in 21st place, 13 seconds behind, but I'm on fresh tires, so we should be able to bring that down quite fast. But I digress. About now, I am really worried that I pitted for nothing, and that the AI is just going to keep racing for 20 laps, because the field definitely could have lasted for a lot longer, and so could the tires, I think, being the AI. But I decided to continue on, because why not? Nothing's going wrong with the car, and I really wanted to see what was going to happen. And so the suspense, anticipation, and stress starts to kick in. It's getting hot. You can see the back markers going down the straight already. Gap going down to 13 seconds, under 13 seconds. You can see the tenths just dropping down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can it get to under 12 seconds by the end of the straight? Doesn't look like it. No, we're gonna break right before it gets to 12 seconds. We have our tires now. We've caught up a second. And I am racing so hard here just to see if I can even, if the AI didn't pit, to see if I can even place 20th, 19th, sorry, out of 21 cars. Now the gap's down to 11.4 seconds, sliding a little bit. I would love to go to a race at this circuit one day. It's so beautiful as we come in a little bit wide, a little bit too fast, and a little bit too long. And the gap's back up to 11.7 seconds. Shifting a little bit too late as we come into this corner, braking right after the 100-meter board. Gap down to 11.5 seconds as we head into lap 13 in a few seconds. I honestly recommend getting this game and simulator if you can. I think it is the best one so far, although I cannot speak to iRacing because that is just too intense for me and I don't want to pay for the online subscription fee. But now the gap is down to just under 11 seconds as we head into lap 12. A second down under my best lap pace. Going a little bit into that corner, a little too fast. Dipping our left tire slightly into the grass as we try to maximize that corner. Braking right before the 50-meter mark, which took me about a couple hours to learn where all my braking points were. But I honestly feel like this sim is the most natural. When I transitioned from Project Cars to Assetto Corsa, I felt really in touch with the car, and that's why I've been posting so many Assetto Corsa videos. But then when I got this game, I felt even more connected. It feels amazing. This is probably only my like 4th or 5th hour in the game, and I was racing their Formula 3 spec cars, and I understood the car. I might not have raced it as well as I could have, or as I should have, but anytime I went long into a corner, anytime the tire screeched, anytime I made a mistake, anytime I did something right even, I knew why, and I could feel it. Gap under 10 seconds, our comeback is beginning. As you can see, the fuel meter says we have 15 laps left, so I'm carrying a lot of extra fuel, and I'm not quite sure why, because if you look back at the loading menu when I adjusted my pit stop strategy as we tapped the wall there, I'm pretty sure I wrote 10 laps, or I selected 10 laps for the first pit stop, and I had 10 laps of fuel to begin with, but I could be mistaken. We're going a little bit too fast again there as I try to go in as quick as I can. So we're gonna have to adjust that for next lap. So we come back down the first 3 corners for the 14th time. Slightly too hot, speeding there, sliding there. Getting up to 200 kilometers an hour. As we desperately try to chase down the back markers. And I'm starting to get really worried if they are actually going to pit or not. But we can finally see the number 20 on the mini-map, and that is a good sign. 7.5 seconds away. A little more. Gaps widening. Get as closest to the wall as we can. Open up the chicane right here. We shift down to second gear, quick succession, saving the spin. And I can finally see the 20th position in the distance. He goes around corner 2. This is still corner 2. I don't know if this counts as turn 1. Making a quick mistake again, but we're under 7 seconds now. Rear left tire is taking the most of the damage, of the wear, sorry. Dipping under 90%. Back right tire almost under 90% as well. the front two tires, surprisingly, are still in the mid 90s. But this track is pretty, oh, we make a mistake, but I don't give up hope, and I keep going, which is quite surprising for a change, I guess, when it comes to racing. I tend to restart if the CPU AI makes a really dumb error that messes me up, but if it's my mistake, I will usually keep going, unless it's like super bad. But as I was saying before, this track is pretty flat. There's not too much elevation change, so the front tires wouldn't really wear too much. We try to recover as much lost time as we can, bringing the gap back down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I notice they're pitting, and I was so happy. And I find myself in 14th place, right behind this orange car. Can we get it? As he comes out of the pits, we're gonna race down towards turn 3, and it looks like we're gonna get the position as we settle for 14th place. And at this point, I am happy that this AI has pitted, although I'm disappointed that we are in 14th place and we started in 10th. If this was a real race, I'm pretty sure my managers would be disappointed that I've lost 4 positions after almost getting a podium in the first 7 laps. But we'll track on as we chase down Zamontese again. I'm probably boofing that. The funny thing is, whenever I watch a YouTube video and I know they're mispronouncing something, I'm like, god damn, this guy's an idiot. And here I am probably mispronouncing it, looking like an idiot, so probably should be a little bit more forgiving when I watch other people's videos now. As we nail the hairpin, we're going to chase down the orange Formula car that overtook me earlier this race. 3-second gap. He's on fresher tires than me, but mine should be warmer. 79 to 67 degrees Celsius, I believe. Gap coming down as we head into the chicane. But wait, not all the AI cars pitted last lap. And so as I charge down the front straight, I find myself sitting in a comfortable 5th position. Very happy about that. And I was so excited, I just clipped that apex right there so hard. Probably would have gotten a cut the corner penalty if the full flags were on. Although they do have cut the corner warnings, and with the only black flag setting selected. But the AI was doing it too, and you can see them cut the grass quite often, so I was like, whatever at this point. Getting some counter steer there. Probably need to clean that up if I ever race here again. If I race here, when I race here again. Just not for a while. Gotta watch out for those white curves. Those raised curves are quite deadly, as demonstrated earlier with that white and blue Formula 3 car. Going across the hairpin once again, as a new life and energy comes into me at this point in the race. As I head towards the opposite side of the track. As we start lap 18 in a few seconds. I can't wait to race more of this game. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Got a glimpse of the orange car in my rearview mirrors there. Half a second gap. So it's increasing. It's decreasing now under a 1/5 of a second. I don't know why that took me so long to figure out. When you get a 5 on the AP Calc BC exam, but you can't figure out what a fraction is, what a decimal as a fraction is. We got that speed boost available. But here, I broke a little bit early as I was trying to clean up that corner, and the AI nails me in the back, and I hit another one as I just rejoined the track without looking or caring. It's my teammate, I think. And right there, probably that was my fault for braking too early, but still. I feel like if he was a real person, he would have dove to the inside really quick and saved both of us, but that is racing. We find ourselves back in 7th position after that fiasco. Luckily, we weren't shunted into the wall as I come back down to chase them. That's probably one of my fastest corners, along with the hairpin right before the straight. So the last 2 corners, probably my fastest on this track. And maybe right here when I'm following the AI. When I'm following a car there, I'm really fast. I can usually gain a lot of speed, although it's really hard to overtake there, which kind of sucks because I have a lot of momentum there, but can't really capitalize on it. Both of us make a mistake, the car I'm following and me, and I. Here's the fuck about grammar. When this race is so exciting, we get tapped as I skid out. Try to keep it together. There's 2 laps left. I'm shaking. I don't want to mess it up right now. We're in 7th place. I don't want to jeopardize that. We're up 3 positions from where we started. Maximizing the traffic wall there. Maybe tapping the wall. Maybe not. Both me and the car behind me is gaining up on this red and black car. I'm gonna head down towards the chicane. See if I can catch up a little bit. Maybe even outbrake him if I'm close enough. But it doesn't look quite like it. I'm not really sure what the numbers and letters stand for after the lap times on the left side of the screen. I just noticed it says 1S now from OS for the rest of the race. Or 0S maybe. Oh, 1 stop. Oh, that's probably. Oh, that's what it was. Probably one stop for a pit stop. Tell you if they've pitted. Last lap, we're going to try to see if we can take this position. I'm stretching the car. All the tires are. Well, no, not all the tires are in the 80s. We've got our rear left in 78. Make a quick mistake. Our teammate's going to pass us underneath. And we're gonna see if I can overtake it somewhere at half a lap left. And I'm still really excited, but I'm disappointed I lost that. We're gonna go a little bit wide. We're gonna have to cut it back a lot just to avoid that white curb. 0.6 seconds down is definitely doable. Give him a little tap as we come into the hairpin. As I was saying earlier, you can see the gap to the car ahead of me is 0.4, but the gap to the car behind me is 0.3. So the guy behind me is always closer as we slightly shift too late. We're slipstreaming him. We're catching up. 0.2 seconds, under a second, under a tenth of a second. We're gonna try to outbrake him, but it's not gonna be enough, and I'm just gonna settle for the 8th position. Don't want to jeopardize the finish or take out my teammate as I would in real life. And this is what I really love about this game. It's a true racing experience. We're gonna come in. There's no end of game animation or anything. It tells me I finished in 8th place. The guy behind me is finished, and we're gonna come in, finish this lap. I'm waiting for some sort of a finish graphic, something with all the race results, but no. In Automobilista, you're gonna complete that race. You're gonna, if you said so, you're gonna take that formation lap. You're gonna take that rolling start, if you said it so. Although I didn't for this race. So I wonder if you finish but you run out of fuel. I wonder what happens. But we're gonna finish this lap. And I'm wondering what am I gonna do? So I follow my teammate into the Well, I guess I just spoiled it. We're gonna follow him into the pits eventually. And even then, there's no graphic, as you will see. So I'm watching him. I was watching him. And I see he's not going in to the chicane, he's just going straight to the pit, so I start downshifting, put on that pit lane speed limiter, and I see my little box, first box, and I park. But nothing happens like when I had a pit stop earlier, so I'm really confused. And I just end up repositioning the car for like a solid minute, just trying to see if anything happens. You see all the other cars, they just kind of disappear. Like I said, of course, at least brings you to the pits and you see everyone lined up after the finish line. But here, I'm waiting, nothing really happens. I'm like, I hope this race saves or something, even though I've already got the gameplay. But anyway, I am so excited to post this. It was a great race for me. I am so excited I get to play this game. I'm so excited I got this game. I can't wait for the full release. Again, this is the early access, so any glitches, any bugs, or anything you see, it is not the final version as I come in my pit garage. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want some more, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys in the next Automobilista video.